Nauza dagaa ili nikuridhishe baby wangu. Wadau na wadau what? How will it be, Joe? Semeni it has already been. Check mgeni wangu ako wapi, Joe? Where is my visitor? Let me call this guy right now. Nampigie tukiwa hewani. Buda the boss. Lazima ushike simu yangu. Leo wadau mnashindaga mkisikia Buda. Mimi niko live. Sawa, we hoping. Sawa, mafans wanakungoja mbaya. Nimekupigia nikiwa live kwanza ndo nikupige pressure. Wazi jo, see you soon. Haya. Wadau, mnasikiaga msia nimeenda shule, nimeenda kampo Mayolo. Nimeenda kusoma Mayolo. Watu people make it look like it's so easy. Ni kama ni rosy sana, ni kama ni shughuli rahisi. Our guest today, kama ulihata interview yake anajita Jeremy. Tulipigaga pale interview time alikuwa. Na nimsa alikuwa alianzaga kuwatch John Duty akiwa mtaani bado akichora kukamuku kuchambua. Amekam ashachambua, amemaliza. So the last time we spoke, alikuwa ashamaliza shule. So sehemu maliza shule, lazima atuambie rada ni gani after shule. Unajua maji alishayavulia nguo, akayaoga. Sasa alipata towel ya kujipanguza. Juzi tuliongea story ya vile Trump anasema ati atapea green card immigrants. Ata make sure immigrants wote wako na green cards. Student immigrants. Mtu yote ako student status. Trump alisema badala wewe usome hiyo masomo yote alafu uende huko mtaani kwenye umetoka waanze kujisifu huko kujipiga kifua I have American education. Waanze kusumbua kijiji mzima huko. Trump alisema he wants to retain that talent here. And jo hiyo story ndio maana akasema atapea kila mse green card. Mse atatuchapia yeye inaka is it a pipe dream? Ni siasa, ni story ya jaba ama ni something that can actually happen. Na so far, ojua the problem, the main fear with F1 students hukuwa after umemaliza shule. Sometimes hata wengine wakwaga wamemaliza, sometimes maisha inakuwa ngumu, mtu ametafuta school fees hapati. Na hiyo status ya visa ina expire, inaisha before mtu ajipange. So we want to know, after umemaliza shule, how do you now make sure haujaingia chini ya maji, ujaingia yani ujenda out of status. That's what they call it, out of status. So we want to know, how did he do it? Is he out of status already? Amefika mahali kwenye karibu amwage unga. Juu ukishaenda out of status sasa ni ngori. You are in danger. You are in trouble. Tunamgoja tu. I had scheduled this live for 4. But he was running late. Alikuwa na run late kidogo pale mtaani. So once he gets here atatuchanua. But some of the main fear ya F1 students ni Buda unafika hivi, unajua unakuwa umepigwa 20 hours za kufanya kazi peke yake. After 20 manzi pale kuna shida ya kimitambo. After 20 hours, let me send you, ananiambia it's not, the link is not working. Let me send him a fresh link. So after 20 hours zimeisha Buda, unaga ujanja, you cannot work, you cannot, hizo ends haziwezi meet. So most of the time people spend too much time going to looking for work and not going to class. Sasa unaoma inakuwaga hiyo student status ikiisha kama mtu wangu jamaliza masomo. So we spoke leo manzeni kamwambia it's been quite a journey kwenye umefika saa hii. It will be great. Tulieni tu kidogo. Being patient kidogo anakam. Sent another one. So yeah, atatuambia ilikuwaje. And if you are an F1 student unasikiza hii live, already uko Mayolo ama uko somewhere overseas, uliondokea Gasin, ama wewe you are planning kukuja na hiyo F1 student, tunaweza taka kusikia sana jo experience yako, juu you never know, kitu yote utashare hapa inaweza kuwa beneficial kwa msee mwingine, inaweza kuwa helpful kwa msee mwingine. So kama uko na experience ya F1, most people ask me about F1. Kusema ukweli mimi sinaga ujanja mingi sana about F1, right? So siwezi ongelea kitu sijui sana, but niulize stories za DV, hiyo ninakemba sana. So part of the challenges, some of the challenges inakuwaga time kidogo. Time ni kidogo sana ya kufanya kazi. Na when you run out of status, hata hiyo kazi kufanya inakuwa noma sasa. Unaingia chini ya mahe. I don't know what's happening with this link. He's about to... Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I think he has figured it out. He finally Buddha, the boss. How's life?
Life is good.
Yeah.
And we thank God that we are witnessing
the good
2025 in good health.
Right.
Yeah, and hopeful.
That's good, Joe. That's good. Good to see you in 2025 and to speak to you before the first month ya 2025 iishe. Na nafurahia umeshika weather, umeshika mwaka vizuri. Weather inakupelekaje huko?
Huko ni negative, currently at negative 15, negative 17 Celsius. I think hiyo ndio appropriate.
Kumaanisha sasa ukitoka nje you're dressed like you're going to Mount Everest.
Hata huwezi kaa 5 minutes. You cannot be exposed 5 minutes in these temperatures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what we're experiencing right now, but we are hopeful.
Yeah.
That this new year will bring great opportunities in our lives.
Correct. We are positive. And if tumepambana na 2024 vile ilikuwa noma, hata hii tutapambana tu nayo vile iko.
Yes. As we wait, we now have new governance and effective today.
Talking of governance, you know, people, when you talk about Mzee Mzima, Donald J. Trump, for our viewers who are listening from the motherland, they usually get a little bit shaky. Wanaona jamaa huyu nula kusema, I will send them back to their shithole countries. Even so, how do you feel about that issue being? I don't know if you're still on F1 student visa. The last time we spoke.
Yeah, currently I'm still on F1.
Okay.
But I've acquired a work permit for postgraduate work permit. And I don't know exact impacts. We're waiting for this evening to see the executive orders. There is hearsay that there are 50 executive orders, but I'm sure we'll know by the end of today.
Right.
And we see the immigration policy that might have changes and how it will impact me directly.
Yeah, because he had said on day one, there are promises that he made that he will do on day one.
Yes, as what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not. There are 50 executive orders that will be signed by the end of today.
Right. I hope something Apple has to do with giving.
Definitely, it will touch on immigration.
Yeah,
But I don't know to what
definitely.
extent.
Yeah, but to what extent? I hope he keeps his promise, even though it was not an official promise. He spoke on a podcast recently and said he's going to consider giving green cards to F1 students so that that talent can be used here in the United States. So I hope that's a priority, because now Elon Musk ako karibu na yeye, and Elon Musk has been talking about how his companies are struggling with especially technical workers. So maybe that's a priority.
We really pray that
Yeah. Yeah.
it will be positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will bring a lot of, it will ease the load.
Correct. Correct. But let's go back kidogo. Last time you were here, you had just graduated. Oh, you're just finished. I'm not sure. Had you graduated already?
No, I was doing my internship, just about to graduate.
Yes, you are doing your internship, just about to graduate. And for people who are watching this, you are a dream come true for many people who actually go to the United States, study, and finish. Finishing is the biggest part. Uh, before you came, I was saying sometimes because there are so few hours to work, most people sometimes get consumed in the work and they are unable to finish school. Please take us back kidogo. How was it bwana, kusomea university ya MAJUU na hauna options mingi hadi ukamaliza?
Studying here I'm conversant about US, so
Yeah.
I'll be more specific to US.
Right.
There's other countries abroad like Canada, Europe, Australia,
Uh-huh.
and being in US,
Uh-huh.
there's constraint of working outside. You can only work on campus
Right.
and for restricted hours during your full-time semesters.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike other countries like Canada have open work permit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about other places, but US, you are restrained to on campus.
Right.
So it was a tough journey for me, but I'm glad that back home I'd started a company, a business,
Mm-hmm.
which I still run my business as we speak.
Right.
And that really came up big in my upkeep here in America, and my parents were facilitating my tuition.
Okay.
So I'm very glad that I made it through,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to finance my small upkeeps, and I had to live on a minimum since I'm by myself
Mm-hmm.
as of now.
Yeah.
And I managed to study and pay the fee.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Manze. That shows preparation number one.
Oh, and sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad that I got a good school
Right.
that is very, very affordable, and I can vouch for it.
Yeah, please let us know. Let us know a little bit about the school, because that is one of the major disqualifying factors when people are applying. They
So,
mostly Google and just go with random schools. How can they navigate that challenge?
so I did my master's in Southern Arkansas University. I did
Mhm.
business analytics.
Okay.
And one thing about people should know that schools here in America, to my knowledge, they do pay same amount of fee per credit hour,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll find like our school, graduate schools, masters, you are required only 30 hours. So basically, all the masters program, they
Mm-hmm.
pay the same. If you're in business analytics, computer science, healthcare masters, you pay the same amount of tuition fee. So that is basic. Now, I'm cutting across the schools. Now, our school is in Arkansas, in a city called Magnolia.
Okay.
And I would say it's not very urban. It's a bit rural, kinda.
Yeah.
That plays a big amount. I mean, a big percent to make it affordable.
Right. So are you talking about the location? The location is
Yeah, the location of the school.
interior. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interior, and it plays big on why it's affordable, to be able to compete with other state university and other universities around. So
Right.
it was very, very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I know is that the standard of education is standardized. It's
Right.
same across the schools. The standard of education we'll get in the Ivy League schools is almost the same as the one you'll get in any other school.
Right. And I think that's uniform across the country. Most schools, many schools here, they are all the same in terms of academic qualifications. Sio kama mtaani where you have to pay more to go to a particular school because it has the best education. You know, but
Yes.
here, even if you go to an Ushago school, you still get the best value as if you go to the top schools.
Yeah, that is something that I really like about US, that it is standard,
Yeah.
and you'll get the you'll get a good you'll get good no, you'll get quality education.
Right.
So anyone who would intend to come to US, should not be specific on big schools, or should look for a good school that considers that will accommodate your cost.
Right.
And that, for example, also there's another big factor that plays along with most students, international students who would like to come and study abroad, is the requirements such as English test, or GMAT, or SAT.
Right.
So, like for example, that school, you are not required an English test, since since Kenya is an English-speaking nation, where I am from. The other African countries that I believe it will be a requirement, like maybe talk of northwest countries in the West African, which speak French or other languages, might be a requirement, but GMAT and SAT is not a requirement.
That's a good one.
Master's program.
They've definitely reduced the barriers, because I feel like if you are an applicant and you're aiming for a top school, say New York State University or something, or Ohio State University, these top schools in every state, because of the competition and the number of applications, they usually put up so many barriers to eliminate the wheat from the chaff. so that if you don't meet this, you're done. But I'm glad that this school is open to giving people opportunity just to study. They show us that you can study, because the bottom line is, are you able to just study and finish the course? So removing that barrier is one bigger step, because most people struggle, especially in African continent, struggle with that part.
Yeah, as long as you are able to translate your academic standard to US standard, using the evaluation companies.
Right.
Then you'll be able to, you'll have done the big chunk of your admission process.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, you go for your consular interview,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully you get your visa.
Right.
And if you get your visa, you come to US, you go to that school. By any chance you find you're not satisfied with the location or with the school by itself, you are open to change school, to change course at any point, anytime. Wait, sorry, not any point. Yeah, any point, anytime.
Right.
And if you are not fully qualified, you are introduced to prerequisites. You do prerequisite courses, which now later gives you the chance to do whatever you are. You can change field of study if you feel change, but that is, you're already in US.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. We'll come back to the comments later and the questions from the comment section. But I just wanted us to clarify on one major thing that most people now think about. Okay, I struggled so much. I got my F1 visa, been to the States, or maybe I'm studying online regardless. Now I have finished my studies in the US of A. Do you think, first of all, I know it's too soon to ask, but after during that 2-year period, was the struggle worth it so far?
I believe the struggle is the cost is worth, like it's worth it until now.
Yeah.
Because there's still much hope.
Mm-hmm.
And for myself, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm an entrepreneur. Like I'm passionate in entrepreneurship.
Right.
So my course aligns very well with entrepreneurship, and I believe I'm in the right channel. So it is worth it.
Right.
And I'm heading in the right direction.
That's a good one. Now, in terms of potential employers, and now you have your master's degree, is it true that when you study in America, after you graduate, employers are running to you, asking you, where do you want to work? There are just opportunities everywhere.
So that theory, unfortunately, is not what's on ground. And it's unfortunate that when you drive in any city, on a 10 minutes drive, you will have found more than even 10 hiring posters or banners.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that when it comes to corporate,
right,
the opportunities are very difficult. Getting an interview, it's tough.
Yeah.
So getting a job process, it's hard. It involves applying online, having a phone screen, having a physical interview, and then getting a job offer. Typically, that's the standard ways of getting a job. But I can confidently tell you that getting a job, getting an interview by itself, it's almost a miracle. I've been applying. I apply for jobs averagely like 5 to 10 a day.
5 to 10 applications a day.
Yeah, I try to keep that number. And I get a minimum of 1 regret a day. That's the
a minimum of
ground.
By 1 regret, you mean a minimum of unfortunately, we were not able to continue the application. We selected.
And you are pursuing other candidates.
We are pursuing other candidates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the terminologies go around those
lines.
what? Yeah.
Do you, for your resume, do you use what, I'm not sure the name that resumes nowadays or human resources department use to screen your resume? I hear there's a software where after you send your resume, before even an individual, a human being looks at it, a computer screens it, and if it does not meet the minimum criteria, you might be qualified, but if you did not use the right words or text, it is just thrown in the bin from the system. The HR will not even see it. Are you familiar with that?
Very familiar, and I know that that is a fact that
Yeah.
HR departments have introduced AIs and bots that sieve applications before they even look at them.
Right.
And I'm aware that people, you should be using the keywords in the job description that they posted.
Right.
And in submitting your resume, so you customize your resume per each application.
Mm-hmm.
And make those applications so that the AI or the bots can pick those words that like qualifications they are looking for, the skills or the abilities that they would like for their positions.
Mm-hmm.
So I've also been trying that
Mm-hmm.
trick and
Mm-hmm.
waiting to see if it will work.
Damn. So you're saying part of the challenge, even I feel like, in my view, is the introduction of artificial intelligence and bots in our workplace. So part of the problem of getting one regret a day is because AI is working on the background to eliminate as much as possible. Because as we were talking about it earlier on, most companies nowadays do not want to spend more on human resource. They want to use technology and spend less. So if they can put a technology in place in the hiring process, which eliminates a lot of candidates, that means the organization has saved itself a lot of money. Please talk to us about that challenge of the introduction of AI and bots, even in hiring, because the imagination for most people who would want to pursue a master's degree is, once I finish like this, I will have a million opportunities waiting for me.
It's very, very unfortunate that you start with the same hope, which I say it's good. It
Yeah.
gives you the motivation to continue
Yeah.
because you will find challenges
Yeah.
in the studying process, and with the motivation of a job, we'll be able to continue. That is good.
Yeah.
But truth be told is you complete school and you are abroad. Most companies don't regard your foreign experience.
Right.
I'll talk about business jobs, like business related field. Healthcare, I know they will take any experience from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
That I know for sure. But in the business related fields, it is difficult or it's rare for companies to take your foreign experience.
Mm-hmm.
So they treat you as entry level.
Right.
And the unfortunate situation on ground as we speak is artificial intelligence is doing 90%. Okay, I'm not it's specific on the percentage, but it's doing big roles in the entry level positions.
Right.
Therefore, you find companies are not really employing entry level positions,
Mm-hmm.
and what's available is 5 years plus experience, like experienced roles, experienced candidates.
So the entry-level positions are being filled by AI, basically.
That is current situation on
Yeah.
with most companies.
And it appears if 80 or above 70% of the tasks, if they are being conducted by AI, that means the cost of production for organizations has gone lower. That means the companies are not spending so much on human resource.
Yes, that is the goal of every company, to reduce their expense and increase their income to make big profits.
Right. So I feel like anyone who decides to go past master's degree at this point should have an entrepreneurial mindset instead of seeking for a job.
That is true, and though it comes with also with its own challenge, having non-immigrant status, and you are limited to explore that opportunity of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So you are kind of closed in a box, but there are other opportunities. Having pursued masters and having done STEM programs, there are other opportunities like employment-based permanent residence pathways.
Okay. To enlighten kidogo about that, now that you are no longer a student, how have you been able to maintain your status, and for how long before you pursue the 10-year green card? For those who are not familiar with that process.
So after completing your program, after graduation,
Yeah.
you are given a 1 year postgraduate work permit, basically called OPT, Optical Practical Training.
Yeah.
So that's a work permit for 1 year, which is standard. And after 1 year, those who did STEM programs renew the work permit for 2 years, totaling to 3 years.
Yeah.
But only if you did STEM. That's when you get, it's normally called STEM OPT, STEM programs.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you first keep your status as you try to explore other opportunities. If you feel you want to remain abroad, but if you feel you have gained good experience, you can go back home and also try your luck.
Talking about going back home, have you not been tempted? Because I know right now opportunities might be scarce globally in the US and in Kenya. But I know right now, if you landed in Nairobi with your master's degree in business analytics from Southern Arkansas University, bro, I'm sure top corporations in town would want to hire you. Have you thought about that?
I have thought about it,
Yeah.
but in the Kenyan context, I believe in terms of pay, you'll get, I will get 200,000 Kenya shillings, which is like sums to 2,000
Right.
USD. And I believe I can get more than that here. So I'm exploring opportunities here. Plus, I want to get my experience. I want to get like some work experience here in US.
Right, right. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I was talking about it earlier on in a different live. I was saying it doesn't make sense for you to leave your country, spend so much money studying abroad, and then go back to your country, look for a job, and that the money that you'll be paid back home will never even come close to repaying the money you used for education.
Yeah, in Kenya, being paid 200,000 Kenya shillings will sound so lucrative.
Yeah.
But as soon as you convert to US, even say 2,000 USD monthly,
Yeah.
that becomes one person paycheck, which is 2 weeks.
Which is just 2 weeks, Manzi.
So Yeah, so that is the situation, and I want to get more experience here in US. It will even make me a better person if eventually I end up going back home and continuing with my career.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to look at it, because you've invested, now you're looking to reap from the from your hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So man, it's so easy. It sounds like it's just been a walk in the park, but you've been very resilient all through the 2 years. Most people don't know the struggle and the discipline and even the post-education stressors, having to humble yourself after umepata degree yako, you already have your master's degree, but the big jobs are not coming despite the degree. How have you been able to master that patience, just to know and trust the process?
One is also listening to people who are ahead.
Yeah.
Someone telling you that they have been looking for a job 6 months,
Yeah.
it gives you hope. Like, uh, the government is lenient when it comes to postgraduate work permit, and I believe they understand and know the challenges that are there on ground.
Right.
So if you are given 60 days to get a job,
Yeah.
like it's a grace period, you should be having a job within 60 days after your graduation.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't get a job within 60 days, you can go to a company or business and do volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's related to your field of study. So having talked to a person that probably is doing volunteer and still looking for a job that will pay him or her good, and
Mm-hmm.
listening also to other people who underwent different challenges. So I was prepared from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I know so this, and I'm hopeful
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't run out of time,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hopeful that uh, I will get an opportunity as soon as possible and be able now to continue and maintain status and also start earning the dollar.
Right. And the 60 days, do they require you just to look for a job in your area of interest, or just any job? Can you go to McDonald's?
No, that's why they say it's postgraduate work permit,
Okay.
which must be related to your field of study.
Even if it's not the volunteer.
Even any job that you do
Right.
should be related to your field of study. The leeway that I'm talking about is the volunteer. So
Okay.
you're being paid.
Damn. It's a
But that's
thin
what
line.
people do to buy time
Yeah.
and maintain status as they look for a job. So, and to hear a person has been doing it for 6 months.
That's a good way to look at it. In terms of hours, though, after you get you're from the F1 student visa, now you have a little bit of leeway to look for a job. In the event that you get a job, the hours zinaongezeka. There's more hours compared to the 20
It's
hours,
full
correct?
time.
Oh, it's full
It's
time.
full
Okay.
time, which is
Mm-hmm.
40 hours.
Yeah.
And after doing research, I came to know you can do 2 jobs in your postgraduate work permit, as long as both of them meet the criteria that they are related to your field of study.
Yeah.
So if you are lucky enough to get 2 jobs, well
Uh-huh.
and good. There are people who get then these big techs or these like tech related jobs, you find they have 4 days 4 days work schedule,
Uh-huh.
and maybe you find another one is remote. You can
Mm-hmm.
combine, if you are so lucky, you can combine 2 jobs and as long as they work with your schedules, then you're good to go.
At this point, on this status that you are in, you can apply for a social security number, you can apply for your driver's license. Basically, you have freedom of movement.
Those you can get during your study.
Or
For
during your study,
example,
okay.
I got mine 2 months after I got to US. I did some work in school, and if you get a job on campus, you are given documentation to go to the uh, SSN, and you get your social security administration, and you'll be able to be given your SSN.
Okay.
Then driver's license, our state, it was not a requirement. Arkansas, you can get driver's license as soon as you land in US, as long as you do your knowledge test and you do your driver's test and you pass both of them, you'll be able to get your driving license. And after some time, if you're financially able, you can get a second a used car, and you'll be able to drive and be able to be mobile.
Nice. Once you're mobile, I believe that's it. Once you're mobile now, the world is your stage. You can move around and unatafuta ujanja here and there.
Yes, now you'll be able to commute. The biggest challenge here in US is commuting.
Commuting is the biggest challenge. Means of transport.
You need to plan yourself well as soon as possible, because as time goes by, you'll have to move to either to one place or another, in
Right.
getting services or even doing basic shopping.
Right, yeah. Let me go to the comments kidogo. Freemind was asking, he has a brother who got a B+. Nataka ingia Mayolo. What's the advice in terms of consultancy? I'm not sure what he means.
What advice can you give us in terms of consultancy?
Yeah, basically, just someone who did well in school.
So
And they want to come
I'll
undergraduate.
give my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's up to him to digest and act on it.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I had also tried an agency in CBD, Nairobi, and did not approve me that I'll be able to go and study in US. I got also the same B+, and I got a GPA as in kutafuta, is trying to explain kutafuta chuo and I staff school, that is. Okay. Read his second comment. So the agent did not approve me that I'll be able to get admitted in US without GMAT.
What's a GMAT?
GMAT is like an entry exam that most university require you as an international student, basically as a way to gauge you if you'll be able to how do I put it? You'll be able to pass their
program.
Their program.
Yeah, so GMAT is just to see where you are intellectually.
You really explained it well. Yeah, so most school does that, but you'll find other schools also have waived the GMAT requirement, and it's not a requirement to them. So you need to know there are many schools. I don't know the exact number of schools, but I believe US has 1,000 plus university in US,
Yeah.
but the one that are known back home, I believe it's 10% or less. Those popular ones. So there are many universities. You need to find a university that will promote, or rather that does good in your field of study. If you're coming for healthcare, if you're coming in technology like computer science, if you're coming in business, you just need to know your school and see their requirements and look for schools that have less requirement or some requirements are not mandatory. Also, GMAT and English test is big requirements that hinders most international students.
So when you use any agencies, are they the ones who look for the school for you, or you're the one who decides which school you're going to?
So agents operate different, but what all students should understand is agents are business like any other.
Okay.
They are working and they are doing it for money.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, the model of that agent that I was trying to use wanted to maintain high, how do they call them? Success rate. Because he boasts with a 98% success rate, which is true on paper, with the application that he has processed. That's his success rate. But now he has put also the standards too high. Like you need to have a GPA of 3.2 and above. You need to have a GMAT. You need to have done English test. That's when he can take your application. But I would say the process, people can do it by themselves. I did it by myself later, and after some few challenges here and there, I managed to get the visa and I came to US. But the challenge is getting admission. As soon as you get admission and you have your F1 I-20.
I-20.
As soon as you have your I-20, that's it. Now, the barrier between you and US is the interview, which there anyone can get denied.
Right. So the I-20 is the one that says you've been admitted.
Yeah, as soon as you're admitted, you'll be issued an I-20 form, which now says your school, says your program, says your cost of tuition and expense, and comes with your service number now, which having a service number, you can be able to apply for an F1 visa.
Makes sense. Damn, it's been quite a journey, and I'm glad to see this is a success rate already, because even coming from the embassy and with a visa, coming out from the embassy with a visa, that's a success rate. Moving here, starting school, that's a success rate. Finishing school, and now you're on to the next level of OPT, and after OPT, I'm sure we are going to the 10-year green card.
Yes, now we hope for green card.
Yeah.
Through either self-petition, petition by the employer,
Yeah.
or if luck is on our side, the DV lottery is also an option.
Let's talk about DV lottery. Kumbe hata watu wako MAJUU wana apply. So is it different when you are applying when you are in the US compared to when you are applying when you're in Kenya?
There's a big myth that it's different.
Yeah.
Or rather, if you're in the US, you'll get, if you apply from US,
yeah,
your chances are high.
Yeah.
I would say that's not true.
Yeah.
through experience. I did it the other year and the results came out last year. But it's anyone has, the probability is same for everyone. Anyone has the same chance, even if you have applied how many times, your chances are the same to every applicant. But now the difference only comes when you win DV while in US.
Yeah.
It is a bit different because the process is very easy. It's a bit
Yeah.
easy. It's very easy, not a bit. It's very easy
Mm-hmm.
because your next step will be adjusting status.
After you win, that's the easiest part. But before you win, it's not you don't have any special treatment.
None at all. So after you win, you
Yeah.
just apply for change of status using form I-140.
Uh-huh.
And you go for your medical. You still go for your medicals.
Yeah.
And that applies to even those who are on J1, M1. As long as you are on any non-immigrant visa while in US
Yeah.
and you win the DV lottery, you'll go to the same process of adjustment of status, do your medicals, hope and ensure that you haven't got any criminal records or any DUI, or you're just on the good side of the book.
Yeah.
On the right side of the book, then I believe, I'm not certain about the time, but I believe as soon as you start the process, it should take you a month or up to 2 months. Then maybe you get your green card on mail, and you start your new journey as a permanent resident.
Step by step and with resilience. Our lives are usually 1 hour. We are on the 51st minute right now. 9 minutes left. I want us to talk about two things. Number one, now I like how you're portraying this picture. If I was not in the US, I was watching this from home, I would have thought it is just a walk in the park. But for anyone who's watching this, and most of the time, for people who watch me a lot, I may notice that I usually get easily frustrated when someone is looking for an easier way out, like when someone is not willing to put in the work in achieving what they want to achieve. For example, in this case, coming to the US of A, for those who are not in the US. So final take, best na vile ulianza process yako, how you started up to this date. What can you say about this process and what, a successful applicant, a successful student, someone who's successful in this game? What are the key qualities or traits that they should have?
The important traits that you should have is one, endurance.
Right.
If you're moving abroad, even on under which state, under any status, you should have a tough skin.
Yeah.
Because of different culture, different, so much will be different and new.
Yeah.
That you will need to be patient. Also, patience is another trait that you will be required to have. All process are gradual. Like master's degree takes 2 years. If you do it quick, it will take you 1.75 maybe. Bachelor's is 4 years. So all these are processes. You need to be patient, and you cannot skip any process. Also, I don't think these are traits, but you should have a good source of fund.
Money is a major problem, and most people overlook it.
Yes. People think that as soon as you land here in US, money is readily available. People say that you think that you will be plucking them like leaves
On the tree.
on
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
So you should have good source of fund.
Mm-hmm.
You plan yourself and just make ensure that you have good source of funds, more so like students education here in US. Higher education here in US is very, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And as foreign international students, we are charged foreign fee. Like it's different from residents or
Yeah,
citizens.
it's
It's
just like
higher.
going to school out of state. If you're studying in your own state, it's cheaper. If you're coming
Yeah,
from a
and
different state,
going
it's
being
expensive.
being international students, it's a bit higher than even out of state.
It's even more. So being an international student is on the higher side.
Yeah, so if any if students, you should have good source of funds,
Mm-hmm.
and even other non-immigrant,
Mm-hmm.
you'll need to have good source of funds, and personally also be dedicated to the process. You should know the whole process. You should work so much ahead
Mm-hmm.
and have a good plan. Know that I'm in this for this time period. You
Mm-hmm.
know what is required at what point,
Mm-hmm.
and be prepared. Always be prepared. Like know when are your semesters, or know what process you are in this immigration.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next step? Always work ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because going out of status is a big problem also here in US,
Mm-hmm.
and reinstating status also is a big process
Yeah.
that maybe you might not even be you and they normally say that uh, you should be aware. Ignore you cannot use
Ignorance as an excuse.
as an excuse. You
Yeah.
cannot say I did not know.
Yeah.
Maybe you did not apply for work permit, you graduated,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, you are 1 week too, and maybe it's a process that takes less, not minimum of a month.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go out of status just for 1 day, that's it. So you should work ahead, know the process, be
Yeah.
prepared, be patient, and be have good endurance.
That's a good way to put it, Manze. For our listeners who might be planning on this rough, tough terrain, this venture, please, money is always a key factor, because some of the people I've interacted with, they might be under the impression that the only problem is getting out of the country, getting a visa. That's the major concern. No, once you get here, you definitely need a consistent source of income. Na unajua kuna watu wanasemaga, me I don't care as long as nimefika, as long as I get there I'll be fine. No bro, you will suffer. If your if your finances are not in order, you will suffer. When I talk about my story, how I moved from Florida to Virginia after 1 month in the US, and most people think that was a daring initiative, it's because I had some money from Kenya. If I did not have anything on my pocket, on me, after I got to my host, I would have stayed there with my host probably for a year, just because I cannot afford to move around. But because I had some money in my pocket when I came, I had the flexibility. If you call me for a job in Ohio, I will go. If you call me for a job anywhere else, I will go, because I had some money. So having your own something in your pocket is good for you as you start life here.
Yeah, so those are the basics.
Yeah.
And then you need to be flexible, that you learn as you go,
Yeah.
and you adapt.
Yeah. Manze, just wishing you all the best as the journey continues. I'm sure hopefully the next time we are speaking here, you will now, you said right now, which stage are you in? You have the OPT. Is it a 1 year
I have
extension?
the work permit,
The work
and
permit.
I'm openly looking for a job.
So the work permit is the same as OPT?
Yeah.
Okay, so after the work permit is when now you can go to the 10-year green card.
Yes.
What happens after you get a job?
You do, so after I get a job, if my employer is very much impressed by me, because it comes at a, sponsoring green card is very costly.
Yeah.
Minimum of 5,000 upwards to even over 10,000 USD.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Investment to an employee. So a company must be really impressed and sure with you that they'll get that investment and value for money. So that is one of the options that I get sponsored by a company, H1B. Then they convert to green card. Other option is self-petition, because I have a master's degree, so I qualify as the basic requirement is advanced degree. Though that's it's a long process. It takes takes a long time. So that through self-petition, or I get I get the green card, the lottery. I win the green card. Yeah.
Well, just wishing you all the best. And thank you for sharing your insights with us, because not so many people see people like you who actually talked about it. The first time we spoke, you said you were watching this channel when you were still in Kenya. So
yeah, I started watching John Duty TV while still in Kenya.
yeah, I am honestly humbled by that experience. Like, if someone knew me before they came, they've come here, they've done their own thing, and they're still pushing. Not so many people get to see that success story. For me, it's a success story. Even if you have achieved your dreams or not, so far it's a success story, because I've been in school too here, and I know how tough it is. Do you know, school back at home was something else. I even don't know how I finished school back at home.
You don't even remember your professor, your lecturers?
I honestly cannot. I only remember like one or two of them, and it's because I was a student leader in one area, and he was the patron. So we worked together a lot.
So here, you'll almost know, not almost, but you'll know all your professors.
Oh, here you will know.
Because you engage them directly.
Yeah, in fact, there's an academic advisor. First of all, once you're admitted, you're given an academic advisor. This is your to-go-to person every time. And then all your professors, they are Zoom meetings, they are in person. You will
back and forth emails.
Back and forth emails. You will be talking all the time.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so here you definitely know your professor. And here school is like, it's not like back. I don't know how I finished my undergraduate, but it was just freestyling most of the time. Here you cannot freestyle.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you have to commit yourself. Thank you, Manze, for coming through.
I also appreciate for the chance.
Yeah.
And I wish all the best for those who are still back home and they have a dream of coming to study abroad.
Right.
It's possible. All the best.
All the best. And where can people find you if they want to engage you on a personal level?
Both Instagram and Facebook, I go by Jeremy Macharia.
Jeremy Macharia, both Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Thank you, our listeners and viewers. Mtu yote ametune in, manze, big up yourself for coming through. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here. We appreciate you here at John Duty. Your support and your comments, your shares, your likes, your subscriptions, ndio zinatupeleka mbali. By the way, this is our 3rd anniversary on the game. Yesterday, I got a notification, 30 years since I posted my first YouTube video. So we are 3 years in the game.
Very good, very good. Keep going.
Yeah, thank you. You're officially 3 years in the game. That means sometimes I feel so down when my channel is not performing as I would have expected it to perform. But then I remember, bro, we are still infants in this game. We are still in our baby steps. 10 years from today, we'll be talking a different story. So you guys have been my day ones. I give you all the salutes. All right. Tuonane baadaye. I might be coming back with a new live or posting a video before the day ends on this side. So tuko pamoja bado. Thank you, Jeremy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Okay.